The Takeover.
Okay. Did we start? Yeah, we did. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Now, there's a lot of things we're going to get into. When I speak, and when I speak, and when I speak.
This is the Takeover.
Okay, testing the levels. We're testing the levels, and we're here. And the levels are looking good. The levels are looking good. I feel like the sound is good. And we started, right? We did start. We're starting right now. Obviously, we're starting. You can hear me. And welcome. Welcome right now. Right now, welcome yourselves. Everybody right now, say that out loud. Say, hey, guys, go like this. Go, I'm welcome. I'm welcome. And here we are. Welcome to the Takeover podcast. Episode 36. Episode 36. Am I insecure about saying 36 because I'm not sure if it's 36? I'm kidding. I knew it was 36. Welcome back to the Takeover podcast with Michael Lenoci, and I'm your host, obviously, because the show only has me most of the time. So I'm obviously your host, and you know that, and we obviously started because this is the way we do it. This is the way we do things, and we're good to go. We're good to go, and we're strong. We're a strong team. We're a strong team, and we feel good about it. And you're like, Michael, am I a part of the team? Yes, everybody is a part of the team. But not everybody is a part of the memberships, which is on YouTube. If you click the join button, which I think is only on the desktop, or the link is in the Takeover pod on Instagram, and you can join the team. And our team members that have already joined now, we have Amiee, Jordan, and Jules. So shout out to Amiee, Jordan, and Jules. All right, those are my 3 team members right now from the YouTube page because we switched the Patreon over to the YouTube page. Okay, and that's how you become a member, and you can become, an all-star, a starter, an MVP, a general manager. You choose what you want to become. But this is it. Welcome to the Takeover, guys. And for you Takeover fans, don't forget to leave those 5-star reviews. We have 5-star reviews on all podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts, 5-star review. If I'm asking you to do a favor for me, my favor would be to leave a 5-star review. Even if you don't listen to the podcast and you watch it on YouTube, I'd appreciate if you clicked the emblem at the top of the YouTube page that links you to Apple Podcasts and you left a 5-star review. Thank you so much. That was it. Thank you so much for doing that for me. Thank you for doing that for me, and I'm happier now because I know that someone, hopefully one person, is at least doing that. So we got a lot of things to go into this week. I got a lot of notes that I'm looking at. I got a lot of notes, and you're probably like, wow, he's on fire already. What a great start. Is it because coffee's kicked in? It's probably because it has. Probably because it has. It probably has. Also, check out the check out the Takeover Clips YouTube page. That's a new page, and it's got shorter clips of just different clips from episodes. And I got my boy JackTheLion working on clips. He's going to be taking over my page and putting up some clips for me. So I'm excited about that, and he's going to do a great job. So you're going to get to see that, and we're going to have him involved. So that being said, now we're into the groove of things. Now we're officially starting the podcast where we get into the segments, if you would say so. How's everybody's week going? Good? Mine's fabulous. I'm excited. I got a lot of things to be looking forward to, and that's something we stress every week. What do you have looking forward to? I got a lot of my best friends from Florida in town for a bachelor party. Bachelor parties are different these days because of how the world is going through a pandemic. So they're here right now in LA, and they're staying on the west side. They're in Marina Del Rey for a couple days, and then we're headed to Palm Springs and then Joshua Tree. So that's what's going on this weekend. So that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. So then that also means there could be a lot of fun content that happens this weekend. Could I potentially do a podcast from the Airbnb in Joshua Tree? Yes. Is it going to be dangerous if I do that? Probably. But are we going to have a great content for a future episode? Yes, we definitely are, because we're going to play along. We're going to play along with these guys, and we're going to see what we can get out of them, and it's going to be fun because you're on this journey with me, guys, because we're a good team, and teams win championships, okay? I also want to bring up a couple other things. I have a merch idea. And it's right here over my right shoulder. So if you're interested, you know what to do. You know what to do. DM the Takeover Pod, and I want to know how many pre-orders I'm going to need of this, because right now I want to know if I need to get 50 of them, 100. I don't know. So if you're interested and you love this, you'll love this hoodie, and winter's coming up. This is going to be for you, okay? This is going to be the hoodie. And if you're down for it, you know what it is. You like it? That's the first Takeover merch ever. It's the first Takeover merch, but it's not only Takeover merch, it's merch for me as a stand-up. And if you know what that dinosaur is, it's an Italian dinosaur. And I used to do an impression of an Italian dinosaur on stage. And now someone did artwork for me, and it's literally just an image I post on all the Takeover episodes. So for those of you who have never really understood what does that represent, that's a very special art piece for me, and that's why that's going to be the merch going forward for the Takeover. For now, that's the first one. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're excited about it, and that's exciting for me to get that going, get that off the racks, if that's a saying. I don't know if that's a saying. But energy's at a good level. Excited for a lot of things. Man, we got a fun dance party coming up. This episode's gonna be a fun dance party. We got a fun dance party. I would like to go into it, but there's more. There's a lot of other things that we're gonna get into. Real talk stuff. I think that we should start off with. I'm dedicating this episode to my dear friend Julie. Julie is a very good friend to me, and Julie is a female that is a friend, not a girl I've ever had any relations with. And it's funny that you always have to preface it with that, because it's a harder way to say, hey, this person's my friend. If I say, hey, Julie's a good friend to me, people will be like, oh, was she an ex-girlfriend or something? No, I know I always stress that there's no guys who are best friends of a girl. Like, every guy would sleep with a girl. It's true. But this one for me is Julie. Julie I've known for a few years now, 2, 3, maybe 4 years now. And she's one of those people who influenced me in a positive way. And sometimes you don't realize that people are doing that for you. And whether it be a podcast, maybe it's this podcast, or maybe it's a friend that you don't stop to think about and appreciate, but they do influence you. And I want you guys to all do that this week, is think about that one person who's not necessarily a family member, but someone who's in your life that's recently come into your life that's actually been a great influence on you. Just the way your outlook on life, the way you believe in things, or if they've changed habits that you've had, or they've influenced you into changing habits that you've had. I think that's very important. And that's why I want to dedicate this episode to Julie, because she's had a rough few weeks. She's gone through some personal things, and then she just also had to put her cat down, Wammy. And Wammy is now with Wade, and they're playing wherever animals go after they are done loving us. So this episode is for her, and it inspired me to do an episode for her, because I wanted to show her appreciation and let you guys know that there's people like that in your life as well. There's people in your life that are influencing you and making you a better person. And even if that's someone that's a loved one for you, that could be your boyfriend or your girlfriend. But let's stop and appreciate that person today. Let's everyone who's listening think about that person. Who is it for you? And if you can't think of that person right now, just take the time right now. If you off the top of your head, if you can't come up with that person, but let's think about that person. Why are they so important to you? I've known people for 20 years now. I'm 36, so all my best friends from Florida that are here for the bachelor party, I've known them for such a long time. My mom, my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, all of my comedian friends. Everybody has some sort of influence, but then there's special people that come into your life unexpectedly. And Julie was one of those. She unexpectedly was in my life, and sometimes you meet people, whether it's in a social setting or through work, or, just out and about, you meet someone, and when you meet them, you don't know where this is going to go. You could just be like, man, I really like hanging out with that person, or I like meeting that person. That was fun. But you have no idea what it's going to potentially turn into. And that's what it was with Julie. I never thought that she would be such a big part of my life. And because she is, my life is better now because she is in my life. And that's why I want to dedicate this episode to her, because she means a lot to me. And, I want her to feel better. And it makes me sad that she's going through a hard time right now. And I know that we're all going through a hard time, but I think it's important that we, appreciate those people that give back, that are so selfless. And you know what? I think a part of the reason I love her so much is because she reminds me of my mom in so many ways of how selfless she is. There you go, Mom. Very nice episode this week. I'm being very nice. I'm not being sarcastic. And I'm being friendlier and nicer to you, Mom. See, I gave you a shout out there. But again, Mom, this isn't about you. This is about Julie. There you go again, Mom. Always making this about you. That's the problem with my mom. She tries to turn things into about her. That's what she did. This episode is dedicated to Julie, and somehow now it's about my mom. And that is unbelievable, Mom. You are skilled at making it about you. And this is a joke. Not the Julie part, just the mom part. I'm sorry if I had to explain that to you, but some of the viewers, I just don't think that they're normal in the brain. So, and you know what? Who knows what the problem is. But it is weird when someone does come into your life and they are unexpectedly become a best friend. It's magic. There's a reason that happened. And, the older you get, you identify that more and more in life. There's a few people like, there's a kid that was in my life in college, and I don't really talk to him anymore, but I remember at the time in college, he came into my life, and he was a good friend and a good influence. And, that was awesome. That was awesome. You don't really know why people come in your life, and even if it's for short amount of times. Like, it doesn't mean you have to be friends with them forever or you stay in touch with them forever. People move, people distance, they get jobs, they get relationships, they have families, so you don't have time to keep in touch with everyone. But when someone does come in your life and you feel a connection and you identify that, it's important to hold on to that while you can, because there's a reason they're in your life. And maybe you can't even identify what the reason is that they're in your life, but know that they're there for a reason, and it's special. And maybe you won't realize that for years to come. Maybe you won't. Who knows? I don't know the rules. I don't make the rules. I didn't start this, but I want you guys to appreciate that person, whoever it is. And everybody has that person, whether it is in the past or it's right now. But there's people that sometimes they come into your life and they affect you, and you don't know why they came into your life. And then maybe years later, you start to realize, oh, it's because they were a good influence on my life. And that's what it was with Julie. I don't know why she came in my life, but now that she is in my life, I realize how important she is to my life. Even if I don't talk to her every day, she's something special and she's made me a better person, as well as all of you and the podcast. I think that's genuine and true. I would have loved to maybe put music over everything I just did, like I do sometimes, but we got a dance party coming up, so I wanted that just to be a sincere thing, and that's for you, Julie. And I love you, and I hope that you are feeling better and have you have a lot of things to look forward to, coming up in your life. So there's always ups and downs for everyone, and life always tests us. So you got to be prepared for stuff, and at the end of the day, you just got to know that you're happy, and that the people who are close to you, they're there for you to lean on. And everybody should always have some sort of supporting group to lean on. I hope that all makes sense. Now, I feel good about doing that part. That was I think that was special. So, and I was being sincere. I know that, sometimes the cadence makes it sarcastic, but whatever. So that was for you, Julie. Yeah. And, and going off of that, this is another note I have going off of that is, here it is. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Blah, 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 blah. Like, time heals everything. Time is undefeated, essentially, right? Time is undefeated. Nothing is a better medicine than time. And that's for everything. If you're sick, you're injured, what heals it? Time. Hopefully, if it doesn't, then you pass away. Then, whatever, I guess you're not in pain anymore. But anytime and I've stressed this over a lot of episodes, this is only 36, but over time, there's been a lot of episodes where I've kind of probably mentioned this or brought it up a little bit, but I mean, nothing heals more than time. Like at the end of the day, when you, sorry for kicking the camera, at the end of the day, it always gets better. I mean, even when you feel like it's not getting better, you can just evaluate everything months later and like, okay, it's gotten better. When anytime something's gone wrong, breakups, illnesses, just a rough time in life. We've all had a rough time. Like, guys, even from this pandemic, it's gotten better, right? It's gotten better. And then even a year from now, it's going to be better than what it was today. Everybody's life will hopefully be better, a year from today than it was, now. A year from now, it will be better. It's just like time is just the number one thing. And you gotta recognize that and realize that, that's the only thing you have on your side ultimately, is when you're going through anything, is time. And you can't rush it. You just gotta live in the moment, and you gotta be there for, yourself. You gotta be a little, sometimes it's okay to be greedy for yourself. And I learned this through meditating. It's okay to be selfish and kind to yourself. It's okay to take some time and have, even if it's 10 minutes a day for yourself. You could take 10 minutes a day and sit down and just be like, you know what, this is for me. I just want to sit in my thoughts and take some time for myself. You're allowed to do that. And, I don't know if that all goes hand in hand, but, that's just a reminder that, I don't know who needed it, who needed to hear that. I don't know who needed to hear that, but, maybe even this episode maybe helped you, reminded you about how you have time on your side, and there are people in your life, and they're in your life for a reason. So appreciate them. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense for you guys, and I hope you feel better now that I said that, right? And that's genuine. That's a genuine thing. It doesn't always have to be all silly games, right? We're gonna get into the silly games, and we're gonna get into that right now. I think we'll get into it right now. For starters, how's life for me? The comedy scene's kind of, it's more prevalent. All right. There's more shows going on in the comedy scene. All right. There's more, like, I feel like there's more, there's more shows popping up. There's like some backyard shows, like at back patio shows of like some restaurants. I don't really know if there's are technically legal. I mean, I've done outside shows. It feels like I can get up at least once a week. So the comedy scene is back, and I talked about how I missed the hang previous episodes ago. So now I'm seeing more comedians. I'm hanging out, and that's fun. It feels good to have that. Mentally, it feels better. Energy wise, I feel like I'm more excited now. I'm more distracted a little bit. It's harder to be a little bit more diligent in certain work, whether it's playing the piano or meditating every day or even working out. Like I felt like earlier in the year when I had a little routine where I was like working on the piano, meditating, working out every day, and then just doing the podcast. That was all I had. It was easier to be efficient with those. And now that the comedy scene is a little bit back, and I'm staying out late, and I'm going around, and I'm going to other shows, it feels like now I'm getting back into that routine. So it's taking away from what I was being so diligent with earlier in the summer. So now this is something that I have to adjust to. And I don't know if that's relatable to you guys, but like, I'm neglecting some of the other things that I wanted to work hard on because comedy is coming back around more. And that's what I rather do. I rather, obviously comedy is number one to me, but and this is number two to me now. The podcast is always very important to me. It's just what I love, as opposed to everything else. But being physically healthy is important as well. But the comedy scene coming back, it just feels a little bit better. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. whether with what's going on in the pandemic, if that's going to maybe, if there's going to be a spike in winter, I don't really know. To be honest, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what I hear. There's just so many stories, and I've always, stressed that this whole pandemic is like, I don't know what's good and what's not good. But I feel safe, and I do these shows, and everybody's, I think, being pretty distant and being safe about it when we do the shows. So it's good to see people back. And, one thing I will mention just briefly, I still get a lot of comments on, people always asking, they're like, hey, how's Chris doing? Do you have any updates on him? And I get a lot in the comedy scene too now. So, just the one thing I do want to mention is like it's so funny being back in comedy. Everybody's always like, they're like, oh, how's he doing? And I'm like, he's, it's time. Time will heal. It's rough. It's rough. His life was turned upside down. And again, the only thing that can make it better really is him working on himself, and time heals everything, like what I've been saying. But how many people are supportive of Chris in the comedy scene, which is just kind of a little bit annoying, because they're supportive, but like, where are you weren't publicly supportive. Where were you when he needed your support publicly? Like, everybody, I go by the Comedy Store, they're like, tell him we miss him, we have his back. Everywhere I go, every comedy scene I've been in, people have been saying that to me, and it's just like, yeah, but where were you guys publicly? Like, how you didn't do a podcast sticking up for him and sharing, how selfless of a person he was. So that's a little annoying. But, and then people still comment, on my YouTube videos and even on Instagram, like, give us an update. It's like, I don't know you. Like, what? Who are you asking me? Like, why do I owe you an update? He doesn't know you. I appreciate it, but like, that's not how you get an answer. But again, he's spending time with his family and working on himself right now. And when that man chooses to come back, he will. And I believe in him, and I think he will eventually when he gets to it. So that's really all I can say on that. But I'm excited about the comedy scene, and I'm hearing about shows. I reached out to Chicago. I know Chicago's got shows coming up inside limited capacity. So I'm working on something there. I don't know how many of you guys are in Chicago, but if that happens, that will be great. To do a Chicago show. I did Laugh Factory in February. I did it in February. That's how I say it. I have to sometimes think about what I'm saying to say it correctly, and that goes from lack of reading. Now, is that a bad thing? I don't know. Maybe it just makes my character who I am. I mean, that's what it is. You knew what I was saying. You knew I meant the month after January, and you knew that February is one of the harder ones to say, and I can say it if I slow it down and think about it. February. There you go. But it's February. If I say it like that, you don't even know. February. But I really like to say that R. February. Difference. February. There's a big difference. There's a big difference there. So I did do the Laugh Factory in Chicago in February. And, I think it's time I go back. So working on that. I'll keep you guys posted. That's cool. So we could pick it up a little bit here. There's a couple things I don't, I guess because we're in this vibe, sometimes I don't know the direction of where I want to go in, but okay, here it is. There's a speech that, and again, this is one of the greatest sports podcasts ever that doesn't really talk about sports, but this is going to be a little sporty right here because this is important to me. Here it is. It's Spoelstra's speech. I'm going to pull it up right now, and you guys will hear it too. I'll put it up over here over my right shoulder. I just want you guys to hear what he was saying.
These are going to be lifetime memories that we have together. This locker room, regardless of whatever happens in the future, we're going to remember this year, this season, this experience, and that locker room brotherhood for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. And that's just like literally 21 seconds of his post-game press conference after the Miami Heat lost to the Lakers. But it's like a 15-minute interview if you watch it. I really became a big fan of Eric Spoelstra. I mean, I've always obviously liked him as a coach, but just seeing him throughout this playoffs talk, like now he's probably in his in his 12th, 13th season as a head coach. He's really turned into an amazing leader. And that's something I always thought about growing up, like, am I a leader? Have I ever been a leader? And growing up when I was on teams or even in school or even in groups, I never was a leader. I was just kind of the guy who was having fun and going with the flow. But I've thought about that more as I got older, wanting to be a leader and what it takes to be a leader and captivate a room and really take initiative and have a plan and an idea. And that's why I became a big fan of Eric Spoelstra. But what he says right there, I think I live by. I identified to what he was saying just in that little 21 seconds so much, because just it reminds you that, like, everything you do in life, sometimes those memories are forever. Like, they're priceless. Like, and it's so important. There's nothing I can't stress more than how important, like, that bond he's talking about that they had in the locker room. This playoff run, I'll never forget this NBA playoffs just because of the bubble and how it was. It was the most entertaining thing I've ever seen in sports history. In all of sports, it was the greatest thing I've ever watched. So I'll never forget it. So whatever they experienced in that locker room as a group, it's priceless, and that's amazing for them. And I think about that with a lot of things in life. Like, as I get older, I'm like, I didn't make decisions because of whether it was financial or, didn't feel like it at the time or wasn't open-minded enough, and realize that, like, sometimes you have to think about what will that situation be for you in life going forward. It will be priceless. That memory, for instance, a small example that comes to my head is in 2013, I believe it was, I had a buddy get married overseas. It was a destination wedding in Italy. All right. And in 2013, I did not have the money to travel to Italy. I was working at a bar. I had 2 side bar jobs, and I was doing open mics around town, doing stand-up, not making money doing stand-up, just trying to get better, learning. And I was in my grind, which was very important to me. And I was just so closed off of, like, no, nothing will get in the way of my grind, which is great. It's good work ethic, which led to other success I've had in comedy. Not that I've had a lot, but, it was I had a good work ethic with stand-up. But I remember that if I would have just gone to that Italian wedding, I could have put it on a credit card, and maybe it would have costed me $1,000, right? And that sounded like it would have been so stressful for me at the time. And who knows what the consequences would have been if I did go to that wedding in my life, what the consequences would have been for anxiety, stress, whatever. But looking back on life now, as I'm an adult and I'm 36 and I still keep in touch with a lot of my friends, like, that experience is priceless. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you're doing, nothing is more important than the bonding and the relationships you have with your friends and family, and those experiences that you share with them. That lives on forever. And I have a lot of them from college, from high school. I have some with my dad going to sporting events growing up. I have none with my mom because she was just never a part of my life that much. She was too busy with work. Just kidding. But, like, I have those memories growing up. And, like, that's one of those situations where I'll always think going forward of, like, always choose friends and family before anything first. But for the last 8 years, I probably would have been like, nothing comes ahead of stand-up. And now I feel like I've grown as a person, and this goes back to Julie and maybe the podcast and meditating of like, life experiences are priceless, and that's the most important thing. And that goes within my stand-up as well, but, like, I don't ever want to sacrifice a moment that I'll have with a group of friends or family for anything else ever again in my life. And then that's the most important thing, I think, for everyone to realize that. And if you're younger, I would say to really think about that, like, really think about valuing. Forget everything else. Think about how strong of a memory and experience that will be with whatever you're missing out on. And I'm not talking about going on skiing trips with your friends for no reason. I'm talking about memories that last forever, like weddings or some certain birthdays or holiday parties and stuff like that. Like if you're thinking about like, oh, I can't make it home for the holidays because of COVID and it's expensive or whatever, I think you got to put that aside and you got to get home to your family, because this could be even more of a special holiday this year because of the way the world's been. And then that's with a lot of things, I think, like, that like this weekend with my buddies who are here for the bachelor party, like this will be something that I remember for the rest of my life. And I'm excited about that, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know what I mean? Like, and there's a show I probably could have done a couple shows this weekend, but I'm not going to do them because something about COVID has made you appreciate just your time on earth, and what's more important is being happy and having those moments and never forgetting them and being like, well, that was a special time. And so I hope that makes sense if I stress that, but that I just related to that clip a lot with Eric Spoelstra, and I just wanted to share it with you guys because I thought that was I thought it was important to share. So that being said, I want to here we go. We got we got to go into our sponsor this week, and then we'll have our dance party. I promise the dance party is going to come after, and I'm excited for the dance party. But let's go into the shout out every week, guys. Shout out every week to Manscaped. Manscaped for supporting the Takeover podcast and supporting me, and essentially they're supporting you because we get to do this every week, and it inspires me and it helps my podcast grow. And again, asking you for another favor, but share the podcast. If you connect to this podcast and you like it, then let's share this with a friend. Get somebody else involved who can be a part of the team to help us grow, because we're all in it together. But all right, but listen up. We do have a new Manscaped product, and it's the Weed Whacker. And Weed Whacker is big for October. October, we're pushing the Manscaped Weed Whacker. All right. I like you guys to always hear the Manscaped. Manscaped is forever changing the grooming game with the Weed Whacker. It's for your nostrils and ear hair. And everybody, listen, they've even Manscaped did a voting. What is it called? Manscaped did. Look, they did what was it? They did a survey, and it said, where's the percentage? I know it's somewhere on there. There it is. 79% of partners polled admitting that long nose hair is a major turnoff. And I think we all know that going forward, but I've never had a good one. Listen, you've seen me scratch my nose a lot on this podcast. Not anymore, because I have the Weed Whacker. And also, they send you new blades every 3 months, right? Every 3 months, you get new blades sent to you. So you don't even have to buy them. And most nose trimmers, if you've used them before, they end up like just falling apart usually, like after a few months. They're not that good. But this Weed Whacker has like a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree dual blade system. So doesn't even matter. You just go around a few times and it's really done the job. So that's what's good. Again, I don't do it on my ears because I don't have ear hair. That's your own problem, guys. If you got ear hair problem, and listen, women, if you're watching this, this is a big thing, women. Don't be afraid to buy this for your guy. He's not going to be offended. You're his girl. And maybe that's a way of you not bringing it up, being like, oh, God, your nose hairs are gross, because you don't want to make him feel self-conscious. But if you just get him, you're like, hey, look, I got this because I learned about it on a podcast, and I got it for 20% off, because if I go to manscaped.com and at checkout, I put Takeover, I get 20% off. I get 20% off and free shipping. So you could just buy it and you're not even insulting your boyfriend. So think about it like that. And ladies, let's be honest. You have hair in your nose too, maybe. Probably. I don't know. I don't want to know about that. But if you don't want to offend your boyfriend, just get it at the checkout. 20% off, free shipping. Use the code TAKEOVER, and you're going to get this Weed Whacker, okay? And if you go to the Manscaped whole website, there's a bunch of stuff on there, and I've always pushed for the shirt and the underwear. But, it's, what other things? Premium man, blah, 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 blah. Man, I'm going fast today. The only nose hair trimmer on the market with powerful and rechargeable lithium-ion battery that lasts up to 90 minutes use. Again, nobody should be... I've never charged this once since they've sent it to me for advertising, so I probably never will, because I'm pushing this in October. If there's a new product for November, we'll see, but I'm never going to have to charge this again. It lasts forever. So there you go. Makes it a little bit more. You get replaceable blades every 3 months to keep your weed whacking time clean and enjoyable. So I would check that out. Manscaped.com, 20% off. Put Takeover at checkout and you get free shipping. How do my nostrils look? How do they look? Okay. And not only this is their newest product. And, for me, the clippers are great. The grooming clippers, I use them to groom, but I also use them on my face. And then also, more importantly, I love their underwear. That's my favorite. Manscaped, would you guys please send me like maybe a pack of 3 of them? The underwear is my favorite. I'm an ass. Actually, the clippers are great. The clippers are better because it comes in the stand. Some of my other clippers I've had in the past are like the plug-ins, where you have to keep them plugged in to work. After a while, they get crappier. His doesn't have a wire. The Manscaped one doesn't have a wire. It's like a portable one. That's the best. It's like this. The portable ones are the best. So check that out. Manscaped.com. Get your weed whacker. And, listen. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our pubes trimmed and our holes looking nice. That's what they want. That's the saying. Thank you, Manscaped, for keeping... Well, I'm supposed to say it in a... I'm not good at these things. I got to get better at this. I should just learn the script and then shoot it and then just input it on every episode. But that's what a lot of comedians will do with these advertisements, is like they'll shoot it, post, and then they'll just put it in and they'll have it nice. And I like it to be raw. Like, I want to be real with you. So it's like, hey, thank you, Manscaped, for keeping our pubes groomed and all of our holes groomed. Looking nice. All of our holes looking nice. Whatever. I tried. I feel like that's good. But, actually, there's more info if you need. It's in the description. The website's there. Check that out. Okay, so now that we're back, guys, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Now that we're back, we're going to look into this, okay? We're going to look into a dance party. Now, each week, I'm going to pick a song that I find in the YouTube studio that I vibe with, and I just want you guys to dance with me, okay? I want you to try it out. I think you'll like this song, so here it is. Hold on. I'm giving it to you right now. Just give me a second. I think you'll like this one. Ready? Here we go. This is our first dance party that I've done. I did the dance party part of the YouTube memberships, but this is my first dance party. I go through and I find a song that I vibe to, and this is one of the songs I'm vibing to, and I think you guys will like it. So now you take your time. For the dance parties going forward, I want you guys to enjoy it by, listen wherever you are. If you're whatever you're doing, vibe with me. Vibe with me, and I think it's important. But you got to dance too. It's okay. Who cares if people are watching? This is important. Ready? Feel it out. Right? I'm telling you, it's a good time. See? It's not a bad time. Uh-oh, what's that sound mean? Uh-oh. 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 How do you dance to the song? Like this. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. 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 Yeah. Uh-oh, there he goes. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Hit that shit again. Oh, shit. 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 Oh, 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 oh. Oh, shit. Oh, feeling it. Oh, oh, shit. Oh, oh, oh. Get that sweat. Get that sweat. Get that sweat. I could be a workout instructor. Oh, oh, oh. Hit that beat. Bro, that one's tight. You like that one? I liked it. I'm sweating, dude. I'm sweating for a real life dance party. That's what's fun, bro. That's what's a fun time. That was a fun time. And that's just random beats. And that's Getaway. Listen, if you want that one, that's Getaway Powder by DJ Friedman. That's on the audio library. If you go on YouTube audio library, you can find all of these. That's where I find them. I'm out of breath. But that one's fun. That's a fun one. Sometimes, like, and what I do is I go through and I'm just like, what am I vibing with today? What's my vibe? You know, do I feel good? Do I feel good about it? So, I mean, everybody take a breather. Take a breather. It's fine. We're all taking a breath. You know what? Wow. I missed it. Let's the dance party. Mother. Oh, yeah. I have a buddy who just got to town. My buddy, he just moved here from San Francisco. And people always ask me, they're like, you don't, I'm not a jewelry guy. I'm not like a jewel. I never wore necklaces and I never wore watches. I mean, I have before, but I just don't care about that stuff. Like, I don't wear, like, I've never been into a nice watch. A lot of guys are. And sometimes it's for flex reasons. Mom flexes, like, you know, to show off. That's just what the kids say now. They flex, you know? So that's what I feel like a lot of people, but I'm not a watch guy. I don't want to wear a watch. And I always ask people this. I'm like, why are you wearing, why do you like that watch? Because it's expensive? And they're like, no, I just want a watch. I go, for what? To tell time? I go, you have your cell phone on you all the time. Cell phone is for nobody checks their watch. Even when someone has a nice watch, they don't check that. They check their cell phone to see what time it is. So it's not the reason. It's mostly to flex. It's to show, like, it's basically a male wedding ring is what it is. It's like when a girl's engaged, she wants that ring so she could be like, look, because the rule, I learned this from my buddies who are married. The rule with an engagement ring is three months of the guy's salary. That's what it is. That's crazy. That's the rule in all books. My buddy was like, he goes, it's insane. Like, most people will be like, hey, this is a $20,000 ring or $30,000 ring, which is still very expensive. But that's not how it goes. The girl will say, nope, it's 3 months of your salary, which is ridiculous. It can't just be like, hey, everybody just spends this amount on a ring. It's like, nope, the guy has to spend 3 months of salary on the ring. That's crazy. So that's the rule with watches, guys. You get a 3 month of salary watch, and it's your engagement ring, your watch. But and of course, that's what it should be. You should make your fiance or your wife buy you a watch that's 3 months of her salary. That's equal. Instead, she gets to walk around with a ring, which is it's just such a superficial thing, and so is the watch. But I don't like anything on my hands. I don't like wearing jewelry around my neck. I've never been into accessories. And I have no tattoos yet. I don't know if I would ever get one. Sometimes I think about maybe getting Wade's paw print, like right here, or maybe on my forearm. I'm not sure. My mom's going to freak out. She's going to be like, don't get a tattoo. I heard you talk about it. Maybe. I don't know. I think about it more. I think it's just more popular in LA, and you see it so much that you think about it more. I've thought about maybe getting one. I just don't know what I would get or where I would get it. Like, I want to know for sure that I love it forever. Like, maybe Wade's paw print, but I thought, is that a little cheesy to do that? I thought about getting a half of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my forearm too, just because a peanut butter and jelly sandwich represents a lot for me. Of course it does. That's how the podcast started. If you go scroll down to the first episode ever, Welcome to the Takeover, you learn how I make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Or maybe a microphone with a cable that goes around my forearm. I don't know. These are just ideas. But I don't know. I just am not like a watch guy, but learning about, how much people spend on watches is kind of crazy too. They're very expensive, but it should be, I think that's a rule. That's not the rule for watches. It doesn't have to be 3 months of your salary, but why not? Why not? So right now I can wear a rubber band. That's 3. Sorry for kicking the thing again. Damn it. I ruined everything. And I'm going to have to edit. And this episode was going pretty smoothly. Like, I wasn't making any mistakes, and then I've kicked it for the second time. But, whatever. You learn from your mistakes, and I have a rubber band as a watch. No, I used to have I would wear for a little bit. I wore a Fitbit, and I was like into the steps and seeing how many what my heart rate was. But then that shit stopped working after a while, and then I was like, this is so stupid. I don't need that. It didn't really it kind of helped my lifestyle change a little bit, but at the end of the day, your habit is what really changes it. So, my mom. Oh, here's my mom saying of the week. This is it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and we're talking, and she says this. She always has these sayings, okay, Mom? She always has these sayings. She goes, a mother's love is only one way. There's only one way. A mother is one way that the kids don't love. Okay, a mother's love is only one way. The way she loves her kids. There's no way that she'll ever get that reciprocated back is really what it is. A mother's love is only one way, like, because there's no, there, like, your kids will never have the amount of love that you do for them. So it's never going to be the same. And that's just unfortunate. She said it in like a way that is like kind of depressing, but she says it like she's smart. She's like, a mother's love is only one way because the kids could never possibly love their mother as much as a mother loves her kids. It's like, all right, where did you get this from? What book are you reading? Like, it's so cryptic. A mother's love will never be as strong as a kid's love for their mother. So it's only one way. It's a sad world out there that mothers just love unforgivably. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But like, all right, relax, Mom, with your witty sayings. But I know she's stealing these from somewhere. Like, she didn't just... That's the first time I heard that one. So she must have read that online or something. And then she makes it seem like she thought of it. She's like, I was thinking the other day, a mother's love is only one way. Her kid's love will never be the same because there's no way a kid could love the mother the way a mother loves her kids. I guess that's true. That's true, probably. But it's like, I don't know. Mom. I don't know, Mom. Yeah. Let's get a dance going. Reminiscing. I was going back on the memories thing. Well, I had this one. I used to play. No, I don't feel that one anymore. I don't feel that one, guys. I don't know how I feel. What if I was like, I'm gonna redo this episode? I've done that, by the way. By the way, there's episodes you've seen of the Takeover where I've redone a whole episode because I didn't like the way it felt. Think about that. Think about that sometimes if I don't feel the vibe of the episode, I'll redo it. And that's a lot of work because it's like, oh, I got to do another hour. No, but this was a thing of like when you're younger, like a teenager, like you think the world is out to get you. You don't understand things as much. Like for instance, like your parents would maybe be hard on you about stuff like smoking pot, and you're like, and then you get older, you're like, pot's not a big deal. But then you realize that like it's not the smoke in the pot. It's like the habits of pot make you lazier. So your parents don't want you to be lazier because they're scared that you won't experience life. Because there's times like when I was in college and I was just smoking pot and playing video games when I could have even been out partying, which is dangerous, which is more dangerous than smoking pot and playing video games. But though that summer session of like 7 to 8 weeks that I was just smoking pot, playing video games, I wasn't out meeting people and learning and living life and experiencing life, and I missed out. And although it was only 2 months I was doing that, it was my freshman year of college in summer. I was like just smoking pot and playing video games and going to class, and that was it. I could have been out meeting people and potentially growing relationships with new people. Like it does make you maybe content with your decision making. That's what it makes you not, I don't want to go be social or something like that, where that's maybe a small example. I don't know if that makes sense, but like every time our parents were mad or didn't want us to do something, and you're like, why are they being so strict about this? It's because they thought it was probably going to get in the way of you experiencing life. And the older you get, the more you look back on things of like, wow, I missed out on that, or I missed out on this, or I could have done this a better way. And now I know that, and I'll make sure I try to teach my kids that, or someone else I could have an influence in. And I guess that's similar to what I was talking about with the Italy wedding or something like that, of being able to, like identify times when, your parents do really know best, but you don't really appreciate that or learn about that until you get older. I mean, I'm in my 30s now. I don't even have kids, and I realized that they were right, and everything they're doing is to make sure that you have a better experience in life. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was thinking about tickets. Like, you get tickets for, driving. Whatever. I was younger, I was getting a lot of speeding tickets and racing tickets, or even if you're getting parking tickets, like, they're annoying in LA, right? You'll get a parking ticket. When I first moved to LA, I would get parking tickets a lot. But tickets are basically warnings that you have bad habits. That's what I broke it down to. That's what a ticket is. In any aspect of life, if you get a ticket, it's just a warning that you have a bad habit. That's really what it is. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, if it starts to happen a lot, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets, whether it's a parking ticket, if you get 5 parking tickets in 1 month, it means you got a bad habit. And society is trying to tell you that it's getting out of control. And this is our way of disciplining you or letting you know. It's not because we want you to have a shitty day. So if you do get 5 parking tickets in a month, you got a bad habit that needs to be fixed. You could blame it on, the city's so stupid and strict. Why? Every 2 hours I got to check for parking. I was too busy. Like, no, you have a bad habit. If you get a speeding ticket more than 3 times in a year, you have a bad habit that needs to be fixed that is going to end up being a consequence in your life. It's going to end up, your life is going to get out of control. If you get a DUI more than once, you have a bad habit. And it's going to get out of control, and you're lucky you only got a DUI. If, when anything like that is consistently happening, it's life letting you know that you have a bad habit that needs to be stopped before it gets out of control. And this, I'm trying to think of an analogy besides tickets, but that works that way. But it's like anytime like you stub your toe. I stub my toe a lot. I don't know if that's letting me know that I have a bad habit. That could just be clumsy. But anytime there's something that's frustrating to you, where you're like, why is this happening to me? It's the universe letting you know you have a bad habit. And it doesn't even have to be about tickets. It could be just about like anything with like you. Man, I hate trying to make something up and then it's sounding so stupid. But like, okay, if you get a toothache, if you have a cavity, it's because you have a bad habit. You're not brushing your teeth or flossing, right? That's what it is. Every bad thing that's happening to you in your life is a result of a bad habit. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Unless it's something like unexpected, like, an earthquake and then a tree fell on your car, right? That would be ridiculous. But anything that's correlated with your actions that leads to something bad is because of a bad habit. And anytime someone scolds you, or whether it's the city giving you a ticket or a person at work saying, hey, you're messing up with this, it's because ultimately something you're doing is a bad habit. Even at work, if you're late, if you're consistently late, why do people think it's so stupid? Like, even if this was an argument when we were younger, even if you're 2 minutes late, let's say you're supposed to be at work at 9, you show up at 9:02, and the boss would be like, hey, you're 2 minutes late. And you'd be like, okay, but I'm here, man. It's not because he's being a dick. It's to identify that, hey, you're doing this a lot, and it's not a big deal, but it is a habit that you have that's bad, and that could eventually lead to worse things. Right? That is what it is. It's not about the fact that you're 2 minutes late. It's the fact that you were 2 minutes late 7 times this month. And eventually, it's not going to only be 2 minutes late. It's gonna lead to other things that are going to make your life out of control. Because if you can't switch a 2-minute habit to being 5 minutes early, which is only 7 minutes, and we're going back into time, how we bring the whole episode together. If you can't change that habit, then how are they going to trust you to grow into good habits going forward with the company? I think that's the best analogy I could come up with right now. Is like, that's a perfect example, because I remember being like, I'm 2 minutes late, who cares? But it's like, if you do that a lot, that's not good. Because let's like fix that habit. If you can't fix a 2-minute habit, then how are you going to fix any big problems that happen with a corporation or whatever job you're working with? If that's more relatable. And that goes with working out. That goes with eating. If you can't, like I stopped eating late. Like if I can't fix that habit, if I keep eating late, that's going to hurt my health eventually. It's a bad habit. So everybody has some sort of bad habit that can be fixed. And I don't know why, but getting tickets is just a form of that, of like reminding you like, hey, you have a bad habit and it needs to be fixed. It might not seem like it's a big problem, but you are consistently getting these tickets. So you have a bad habit that needs to be fixed before it gets out of control. Tickets are to stop you from getting out of control. Other warnings at work are to stop it before it gets out of control. Everything is to warn you to fix your bad habit, because by the time it gets out of control, if something is out of control in your life and it's a disaster, you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I had a lot of bad habits going in. And I could probably play music for this part, a little motivational music to kind of spice this part up. Okay. But that's what was going down, is basically it's just bad habits that needed to be stopped before your life got out of control. I hope that makes sense. Did that make sense, guys? Did it make sense? I don't know. We thank the team members. I'm just going in here deleting things, you know. I delete the notes so I know what I've been through. Okay? That's all I'm doing. Sorry to take my eyes off the page, but this was I kicked it again, and I'm sorry, okay? This was I feel like a more informative episode. I feel like we weren't as silly. We weren't as silly today, but just a couple reminders of, subscribe to the YouTube page. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. All you have to do is hit the little button down there. It's a little emblem that says the Takeover. Subscribe is down there. Join the memberships page. So I don't know how you are watching this, but if you go to the Takeover Pod on Instagram, the link in the bio leads directly to the memberships, and the memberships get special videos. They get a video every week depending on what membership you pick. So I appreciate that. Please leave the 5-star reviews. That's a major help for me. So if you could, just, I'm asking you for a favor, and you can only use leave a 5-star review once. So sorry, my mom keeps trying. She goes like, I try to leave a 5-star review every episode. Excuse me. I'm like, no, Mom, you can only do it once. So that's cool. And then, I'll look into the merch. Let me know if you guys are excited about that. So how many I need to pre-order. So that's something that we'll look into for the merch idea for my Italian dinosaur hoodies. I want some Italian dinosaur hoodies sent out. I want you guys to support. I think it'll be awesome. So we'll check that out. And then, maybe upcoming weeks I'll do more Zoom episodes. Figure it out. I hope you guys liked the Zoom episode I had with Maddie Shimbor. That was last week's episode. And then obviously I did the live episode. Live episode. I don't know if I'll do another one yet, but we'll see. That being said, that was this week's episode. I have a lot to get done this week, and I have a lot to look forward to. I'm excited to get back to you guys, and we'll see what we come up with next week. We'll have some fun stories maybe, and I appreciate I fucking kicked it again. I unbelievably fucking kicked the camera again. It's like, how many times could you possibly fuck up in a day? And to have a smooth, mature episode. This was a mature episode. This was a very mature episode, and I just want you to know that it was all for my dear friend Julie, who had to put her cat down today. Wammy. Rest in peace, Wammy, who's now with Wade, and they're hanging out just on some lawns of hills and stuff, just playing, And Wade was always he was always cool with cats, so now he's got a cat friend up there, and I think that's exciting, and I will see you guys next week. I love you, and I appreciate all the support. Goodbye. That's how I start.
Takeover.
Now, there's a lot of things we're going to get into. Okay.